Well, good morning, everyone, and thanks so much for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner. So, it's not very often that I come on and show my face. And the main reason is 99.99% of the time when I'm here in my craft room, I'm in a Walmart muumuu or day dress. I have no makeup on. My hair is all crazy. Uh, I definitely don't have any lipstick on. And I have my slippers on and I'm just crafting. The only reason I actually look like this today is because I just got home from church. So this is all coming off. I'm going to go get my muumuu on. The makeup is coming off. I'm going to get comfortable and we are going to start crafting and working on things. So I'll be right back, you guys. Well, I'm very comfy now and ready to continue on my six-fold journal. Now, once again, if you recall, it is two journals of one size and then four smaller journals of another size. And to construct it, it is actually quite easy. When I sewed this, I thought I was going to have strings hanging down to maybe put some dangles, but I've decided against that. So I'm just going to cut these wax threads off, which were part of our binding. So I hope everyone is doing well. This video will air either Monday or Tuesday. Hopefully it will be out tomorrow. I hope I can get it done. And so we're just going to trim these off. Now it looks like a very complicated journal, but putting it together is actually quite easy. What we are going to do is put together the first two larger journals. And it's nothing more than gluing two of the journals together. You can either do it like this to where the top ones opens up like that, or like I said, this way. But to me, it makes a little more sense to have it start this way. And it's nothing more than taking some glue. I'm going to use my Beacons 3-in-1 glue, and I'm just going to glue that journal on to that journal. And if you recall, I had created these covers by only using my thicker Epson paper and doubling it up. And so it's like a thick cardstock. And it's very simple. So I'm going to put some glue there, but I think I'm going to put a little bit of glue here also, just in case. And just kind of going in between where those stitches are. And then it's nothing more than laying one on top of the other. And because this is the Beacons 3-in-1 glue, if you do need to move it around, it's quite easy. But because they are both the same size, it's not difficult at all. And so what ends up happening is that back cover is glued onto the back cover of the second journal. So let's go, now that we've glued that, and it'll take it a minute to seal and adhere. And like I said, it's the same size, so it should be no problem. The next thing is taking two of the smaller journals, and you're going to want one, or each one, excuse me, to open out the outer way. And so I want to make sure that each one is different. And so this will have to probably go on this side and then that like that. So those two will be like that. And the other thing that I did off of camera is, as I was looking at these small journals, once I had done the stitching, some of the pages stuck out a little bit. So I just took this little guillotine Stampin' Up! Trimmer and I trimmed some of the pages off. There's what they are, just ever so slightly, just so that the pages open up easily. And because of this type of binding, it was easy. All I had to do was slide it into the small little guillotine, lay it in there, and then go down and cut it like that. So it wasn't difficult at all. I'm going to set these off to the side and bring in the big ones and start gluing. So once again, you want them to open up outward. And so all you have to do is add glue to the back of one of your smaller journals. And you can take some glue here on the back of this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it there. And that feels at about the right distance. And then I'm going to add glue on the back of this cover. And put a little bit of glue on here. And lay that one in there. And then if you have to push them so that they are even, you can. But I think we're pretty good there. Yeah, I think we're good. I'm just going to open this up here and I'm going to bring it in just a little bit. Yeah, I think we're good on the outside there. And we're good on the outside here. And if you need to, it's better to have a small gap here and let it hang over a little bit there. And I want to make sure, I know there seems to be a small little bit of glue that seeped through there. So I'm going to just leave that like that. And I'm going to flip it over and then I will glue these two on. And once again, you want your glue or your pages to close on the inside. I like the way this journal lays flat, even with all of these pages and what have you. We're just going to lay that one like that. And then we're going to put some glue here on the back of this one. And since I already have some glue on the cover, it'll be okay. We're just going to lay that in there. And once again, I'm going to open it up ever so slightly. So there seems to be a tiny little gap in between. And I think we're good there. And I'm going to let this dry for a minute. There we go. I just want to make sure if I accidentally close these pages and there's glue in here that I don't glue them shut. So I'm going to let that dry. Our journal has had time to dry. As I run my finger down there, I do feel a little bit of residue glue. It is dried. I don't know if you guys know about this glue erasers. I will link it in the description box down below, but I used this all the time in my card making days, and if there is residue glue, it removes it. Like I can feel a little bit there. The other thing I'll be able to do is add some lace down here and decorate that. Now, as I'm looking at the journal this way, I can see some of the pages are sticking out. They're going to impede each other a little bit. So I see this one in particular right here. I'm going to take a hold of it and open it up. It's this one right here. And I'm going to lay it in my trimmer and trim it off. And hopefully I can bend that back and just lay it in there. Yes, I will be able to. And just trim off ever so slightly amount, just so that it lays in there a little bit better. If you don't have this small guillotine trimmer like this, you could take a cutting mat. I'm getting everything confused here. You could take a cutting mat here like this and a little Fiskars trimmer with a ruler and lay it in there and trim everything up. But what I'm going to do is just go through the journal and take a look and see where there might be some pages that are hanging over, and I see a couple here. So it's just going to take a little bit of time to lay them in this trimmer and trim them. That one was a little bit easier. The journal will still be fine without doing this, but you guys know how fastidious I can be about some of this stuff, so I'm going to do it. But I mean, look at how neat this journal is with folding back and forth. So once again, if you guys don't remember the 6-fold journal, let me refresh your memory. It will open up this way, and you can journal there on all of those pages. Then you pick it up and just flip it over, and you can journal on these pages. And we're going to be adding some pockets and stuff here. Then you take the journal and turn it this way, and you've got larger pages here to journal on. And then that is our back page. If we continue and turn the journal over, then we have this other journal here. Isn't that the neatest journal? I just love it. I absolutely love it. And I think my pages are okay. Yeah, they're going to be okay. And I'm going to be able to add a few things. Now, I had gone ahead and made a couple of things. And let me pull them in. And let's see if I have. That's from Roxy Creations, one of her weekly challenges. I've got that. I printed off some of those tags, and so they fold onto each other. So let's see, we want this one to show first. So you just, and these are from Medieval Mirage, her kit. So you're folding that one like that, and then you're going to fold it back on itself. And then it goes into a pocket, and you're able to open it up like that and then journal there. So I have a couple of those, so we're going to set those off to the side. I did everything in miniature. You guys remember when I did the wallpaper pockets? I have several of those. These bigger ones will go into the bigger journal, and they're going to hinge. And then I've got a couple of smaller ones. Oh, that one's not going to go. I don't know if that one's going to go too. It may be too big. It's going to stick out too much. But you know what I could do? We're going to solve this right here and now. We're going to pull in our little bitty paper trimmer. I'm going to lay it in there. And we're going to trim this down and see if it will fit on the inside here as a flap. It would. See how it fits there? And then I will be able to fold that out like that. Let's see if I want it maybe instead. Well, this one is oh yeah, look at that. I kind of like that too. I like that even better. I think I'm going to trim off even a tiny bit more. Let's just come in here just because I just don't want to I want to make sure that it doesn't stick out. Now, I need to also then check, because now that I have trimmed off the bottom, I have trimmed off where the pocket closed. So I'm going to bring in just a tiny little bit of glue here and close the bottom pocket here. I'm going to open it up just a little bit and just put a tiny bead of glue on the inside, running it along the bottom. And then pressing that together. And then that closes that pocket back up again. And I'm going to, since I trimmed that corner, I'm going to trim it off there. just want to make sure that that is, see, look at how perfect that is. Oh gosh, is that the page I want it on? See, maybe over here. I want it on a fairly plain page. To me, this is a little bit too decorated. I mean, it's really not, it's stenciled, but I really want to be able to see this image here. So I think that one is perfect. And then that fits perfect there. So let's just go ahead and adhere that down. I think the size is good. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. Yeah, so we're just going to add some glue here along this edge of this flap, and then we have a nice little pocket there. What I tend to do is when I am decorating a journal, because I want it to be even in all of my tucks and pockets and spots like that. So now that I have a pocket here on this side, then I will focus on this side and put a pocket there. I love how that folds open. Yeah, make sure it closes. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. So I will have to put something in this pocket, and see, we have plenty of room here. Oh, I love that. I love that. So we need a little pocket on this side. This is too wide. Well, let's see what else I have here in my little stash. Now that may be thick. Let's see. Postcards. There's a, oh, maybe. It almost feels like I need to make sure that, oh gosh, is that gorgeous? That things are not too bulky, because it's going to stick out too much. This one is, I think, too big. Now, what can I do to fix that right off the bat? I could cut this down. Yeah, that's going to work. Let's just fix this right here and now. Bring in my little paper trimmer. I'm going to trim this down. I will have to then re-glue it closed, but let's see if this works. Oh, look at how pretty that is. I think I'm going to trim off a tiny bit more. Yeah, I think that's good. It's going to be a tiny pocket. That's what we have to do, is tiny, tiny pockets. Okay, I've got my, I think I folded that up there. So I need to seal this edge right there. Just a tiny little bit of glue. And you guys, you can't even tell it, can you? That I trimmed so much of that off. That's perfect. And then it will fit very nicely on that page. And I can even do that with one of the other pockets. Do you see how that gives me more than enough room to close that? Oh gosh, I love that. And then I can do that like that. Oh, you know what I've decided, you guys? I am keeping this journal for myself. I do not have a 6-fold journal for my own personal collection. I've sold them all. I may have told you that. And so I'm keeping that for myself, and that's perfect because that J represents my name. Isn't that wallpaper with that beautiful? This is from my friend Betsy from Gail Augustinelli's retreat. I think I've told you guys Gail's not able to have her retreat this year. The lady that has the retreat house has been ill, and then also her caterer that Gail always had come and cater the retreat has decided not to cater anymore. So that's that, and that's that. Perfect. Okay, so since I have a pocket on this side and one on this side, I'm just double checking to make sure that there is no glue seeping. Perfect. Now I'm going to close it, flip it over, and do some pockets on this side. Off camera, I added a small little pocket here with a little tag. It's a little castle there. I put some of my centimeters tape that I bought in Italy on the top of it. And then on this side, I added just a couple of tuck spots. Let me see if I can find it. Yes. So this is from the kit. I shrunk them down and I put 2 on top of each other. They're little side tucks. This is from one of Jaff's kits. I can't remember, but I really shrunk it down and I folded it up. And so that's going to go in the pocket. And then this is from the garden kit, and I just cut it out and slipped it in there. Can go either way. I don't know which way I like it. I think if it comes out a little bit. So anyway, that is it for completing this, at least the construction of the journal. I will continue to decorate it. I'm very pleased with how it turned out. I will probably do a flip through. I need to really focus on my slow stitching projects before I leave for my retreat in 2 weeks that I'm hosting. So this will be a flip through. I probably won't decorate it on camera, and I will just focus on camera, my slow stitching. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me, everyone. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you guys again soon. Thanks, and bye-bye.